Good morning, friends, and welcome to Take Two for this Monday, the 18th of March, 2019. I hope you're having a great day. I'm Jeannie, and I'm so glad that I could be with you this morning. I hope you didn't overdo it yesterday for St. Patrick's Day. I hope you enjoyed a nice Irish meal with your friends, because everybody on St. Patrick's Day is a little bit Irish. Well, I'd like to talk to you this morning. It's a little bit of a somber situation, but it's one of those kinds of things where you have some hope, too, and I'll share my thoughts with you. And that is, I want to talk to you today about waiting, and if you wait long enough, how important that is to not give up in your waiting. 20 years ago, it was the summer of 1999. Michael and I had only been living in this area for 2 years, so we didn't know as many people, of course, as we know now, these 2 decades later. But some terrible, tragic news came forth on the news stations. Now, Michael and I were doing our television at the time. We were doing a cooking segment on one of the local networks, and I was working with the food bank, the WRMZ food bank. So I was on television quite a bit, promoting events and fundraisers and food drives and so on. So we got to know our local news folk very well, and it was tragic news when we heard about 2 high school girls who were on their way to a party, stopped for gasoline. One of the girls called their mom to say that she and her best friend were going to be going to this party, and that's the last time anybody of their family or friends had ever heard from them again, had ever heard their voices again, because sadly, when they never came home that night, and the parents called the police to start the hunt to look for these girls, hoping for the best and planning for the worst, thinking, oh, maybe they just went to a party, fell asleep on someone's sofa or something like that. But sadly, that morning, the bodies of these 2 girls were found in the trunk of a car, and they had been killed. They had been murdered, shot, and at least one of them had been assaulted as well. And so this was something that just shook the community. It shook the world. Now, I didn't know Tracy and JB. I didn't know these 2 girls, but we knew a lot of people. You couldn't talk to somebody who didn't know them. It was one of those things where they were just they were well-known families in the community. They were local, and of course, to have this heinous crime take place. So now started the hunt for the killer or killers. Nobody knew exactly what happened. It was a mystery. This mystery had been going on now for 2 decades. Well, Sunday morning, I got my Sunday paper and I started reading the headline. Saturday night, actually, on Facebook, immediately things started showing up. And here it is, arrest in cold case. And after all this time, after over 2 decades, wow, can you imagine? Somebody is in custody. It was DNA. It was a DNA match that allowed the police, the law enforcement, to make a positive identification on this man whom they believe, truly believe, is the man who did this horrible, heinous deeds and killing these 2 girls and assaulting them, or at least one of them that way, sexually assault. And it's a shock, of course. I mean, everybody is just talking about it. And some police officers and people who worked on the case from 20 years ago are coming out of retirement. People are coming out of the woodwork. And the families went over to the memorial where the car was found, where crosses still are, all these years later, there with their names on it, because that's where the girls were discovered, the grisly discovery there, right on the highway in a neighborhood in Ozark, Alabama, a neighboring town to Dothan, Alabama. And they stood there with the press, and they said yesterday, well, we waited, and now justice is going to be served. See, they never gave up hope. Just when you think, oh my goodness, that's it. I mean, everybody was on this case. John Walsh from America, Unsolved Mystery Crimes, and all these other shows, all the networks. This made not only national news, it even made international news. I remember communicating with friends of ours in England and Ireland, and they said, oh, did those girls' murderer ever get found? I mean, this was something that people wanted. It was like they were almost like a Alabama sweethearts, and people just wanted justice to come to the surface. They wanted this crime to be taken care of, and that the criminal would be charged. And this man is being charged with their murders. It is not just a person of interest they brought in for questioning. This is a man that the police are so sure did it that he's being charged. Now, to be fair, I mean, let's be fair. This is America, boys and girls. I am not going to say the man is guilty. I don't even know him. I don't know anything about him. What I do know is that we are innocent until proven guilty, and I believe in that system because I'm sure there's lots of people who go to jail for somebody else's crime, or they go to jail for the full blame of a crime that other people were involved in too. So I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is if this man who has been arrested in the death of these two girls is the guilty party, finally, for those who waited, justice will be served. So are you waiting for something? Are you at the point in your life, boys and girls, where you say, I can't wait any longer. I just cannot wait. I'm tired of waiting. Well, guess what? If you wait just a little bit longer, like these families did, like these friends did, justice will be served. Your prayer will be answered. Somehow, some way, it will be taken care of. And maybe that waiting is something that's sharpening you, making you a stronger person, giving you a place in your life where you can be a comfort to others because they've had to wait for things as well, or they're in the process of waiting. I know with my mother's estate, settling things and taking care of things since she passed away in June of last year, and there's been so many things. There have been gobs and gobs of papers that have had to be signed and different things notarized and all that. And just even today, there's some very important papers that needed to go to, different offices to be notarized and processed and so on and so forth. And that waiting and that process of when is this all going to be over, I know that my sister and I have gone through a tremendous amount. She even more than me, being the executrix of my mother's will and handling all of the logistics. I take my hat off to her. She's had to wait on so many things, wait for things to come in the mail, wait for emails to arrive, wait for documentation to be finalized, etc., etc., etc. There's so much that needs to be done, and there's a lot of waiting involved. But here's what I say to you, boys and girls. Wait, wait, wait. Even biblically, it says that we wait. And you know what it says in the Bible? Those who wait, wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They'll mount up with wings like eagles. They'll run and not be weary. They will work and work and work and work towards things. You know what? They will not faint, it says. So hang on, wait. If you're waiting for something very important, hang in there, boys and girls, because you know what? Just like the families of JB and Tracy, they waited, and now they're going to see it all come to an end, and it will be over very soon. So hang in there. Now go be a blessing to somebody today, okay? You might end up being the only one who is. And if you know somebody who's waiting on something and they don't know when this is ever going to come to fruition or come to the end or be over and done with, hang in there with them, wait with them. And if you need to wait for something, surround yourselves with those who have waited and have seen the end result and have hope. And hang in there because there is hope, okay? Hey, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jeanne Sigler, Jeanne. Hit that subscribe button. And also, don't forget to tune into my radio station for more great music and programming and up-to-the-minute information. Please, WRMZ.org, and click that listen button. Okay, I love you all very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.